sunset bleeding slow. Yeah. Sunset bleeding slow across the neighborhood sky. Old chairs in the backyard, everybody getting high. Bluetooth speaker playing something smooth and low. Orange glow on our faces while the evening shadows grow. Lighters in the air like stars before the night. Smoke floating upward while the city dims its light. Nobody judging, nobody asking why. Just another smoke session underneath the purple sky. Whole crew gathered up, same circle every year. Some came with good news, some came carrying fear. Some got bills stacked high, some got hearts full of pain. Some just need a moment to feel human again. Blue dream in the air, got us feeling weightless. Granddaddy purple got the whole mood spacious. Northern light shining somewhere in my mind. Sour diesel got my worries falling way behind. OG Kush burning while the moon climbs high. Purple haze drifting through the summer night sky. Pineapple Express got us laughing for a while. Everybody sitting back wearing that peaceful smile. Too faded to worry, too high to care. Lead the way to the world, hanging somewhere out there. Brain on pause, heart moving slow. Let the smoke take me wherever it wants to go. Too faded to worry, too high to fight. Everything feels softer in the middle of the night. Brain on pause, soul feeling free for a few hours. That's enough for me. Yeah. 3:30 in the morning on an empty highway lane. Dashboard lights glowing while we're drifting through the rain. Street signs passing by like memories in a dream. Nothing feels as solid as it normally would seem. Forgot what I was saying halfway through a thought. Lost inside the conversation that my memory forgot. Phone in my hand but I don't know what for. Mind buffering slowly like a broken signal source. Brain glitzing hard like an old machine. Everything delayed like a lagging screen. Words loading slowly, can't remember what I knew, but somehow all that silence feels more honest than the truth. Too faded to worry, too high to care. Lead the way to the world, hanging somewhere out there. Brain on pause, heart moving slow. Let the smoke take me wherever it wants to go. Too faded to worry, too high to fight. Everything feels softer in the middle of the night. Brain on pause, soul feeling free for a few hours. That's enough for me. Yeah. Maybe that's the reason we keep gathering around, trying to find some peace before another year goes down. The world feels fractured, everybody's feeling worn. Every day another headline telling us we're torn. Demons in the darkness whisper in my ear, but tonight their voices slowly disappear. Pain fades faster when the whole crew's near. Sometimes healing sounds a lot like laughter in the beer. Smoke rings rising while the moon hangs low. Old scars fading in the firelight glow. The world feels broken, that's something we all know. But tonight feels whole, and that's enough to keep us going. Sunset to moonlight, moonlight to dawn. Somehow we survive and keep rolling on. One more story, one more song, one more smoke session before the night is gone. Morning light appearing on the edge of town. Ashes in the tray while the windows roll down. Another year older, still standing somehow. Still got my people and that's all that matters now. Smoke disappearing with the stars above, leaving only memories, brotherhood and love. Freeway stretching endless underneath the morning sun. One more night survived, one more journey done. golden sunlight fading behind the old fence line. Plastic cups on the table, everybody feeling fine. Cheap speakers in the corner playing something slow. Smoke drifting through the air while the evening starts to glow. Lighters raised high underneath the orange sky. No questions, no pressure, no reason to justify. Just another Friday night with the people I know, watching all our worries disappear with the smoke. Blue dream got the backyard floating off the ground. Northern lights got us lost in every little sound. Granddaddy purple got the whole crew moving slow. OG Kush burning while the summer breezes blow. Purple haze memories spinning through my brain. Sour diesel helping wash away the stress and pain. Skywalker OG got me staring at the moon. Pineapple Express got me singing out of tune. Everybody laughing like the world ain't falling down. For a couple precious hours, pieces finally found. Smoke rings rising while the daylight fades away. Nobody wants to leave, everybody wants to stay. Too far gone to worry, too high to care. Leave another problem floating somewhere in the air. Brain on pause, soul on cruise. Nothing left to prove and nothing left to lose. Highway tonight. 3:30 in the morning on an empty interstate, passing sleeping neighborhoods while the radio plays. Dashboard glowing softly, windshield full of stars. City fading slowly in the mirror of the car. Forgot what I was saying halfway through a thought, trying to remember something that my memory lost. Phone screen lighting up, but I don't even care. Mine somewhere between the road and the midnight air. Thoughts buffering slowly like an old computer file. Every mile feels longer, but I'm somehow wearing a smile. Brain skipping signals like a satellite in space. Nothing really makes sense, but everything's in place. Too far gone to worry, too high to care. Leave another problem floating somewhere in the air. Brain on pause, soul on cruise. Nothing left to prove and nothing left to lose. Maybe that's the reason we keep coming back again, looking for a little peace inside this world we're in. Everybody fighting battles nobody else can see, trying to stay together while we're searching to be free. Demons in the darkness seem a little less severe when the people that you trust are sitting somewhere near. Pain fades softer when you're not alone tonight. Sometimes all it takes is laughter underneath the street lights. The world feels shattered, every headline feels insane. Everybody carry invisible chains, but right here in this moment, none of that controls me. For the first time in forever, my soul feels free. Moonlight on the highway, smoke against the glass, trying to hold these moments while they last. Miles keep rolling, night keeps moving on. One blink later and another year is gone. morning light appearing over distant hills. Coffee from a gas station, everything stands still. Ashes in the tray and the sunrise shining gold. Another chapter written, another story told. Smoke fades away, but the memory survives. The backyard, the highway, the people in our lives. Oh, one more night behind us, one more dawn in sight. Neon smoke highway, disappearing with the light. Sunset melting slow behind the telephone line. Old wooden chairs in the cooler full of ice. Backyard speakers playing something low and smooth. Everybody lighting up, settling into the groove. Orange glow on faces, smoke against the skylighters flickering bright while the daylight says goodbye. Nobody talking loud, nobody trying to impress. Just a circle full of people trying to escape the stress. Blue dream floating through the summer air tonight. Northern lights dancing somewhere out of sight. Granddaddy Purple got the whole yard moving slow. Sour diesel got us laughing while the records softly roll. OG Kush burning underneath the moonlit haze. Purple haze, sky just drifting through forgotten days. Skywalker OG got my feet off the ground. Maui Waui got me lost in every little sound. Smoke circles rising like they know where to go. Every strain another chapter that the old heads know. No destination, no reason to leave. Just a backyard full of souls trying to breathe. Too gone to rush, too high to fight. Watching all my problems disappear into the night. Brain on silent, heart on cruise. Nothing left to prove, and nothing left to lose. Too gone to rush, too gone to care. Lead the way behind and let it vanish in the air. Brain on silent, soul feels alive. Just me in the freeway goes tonight. 4 in the morning on an empty interstate. Dashboard glowing blue while the city stays awake. Tail lights in the distance looking small and red, like memories still burning in the corners of my head. Forgot what I was saying halfway through a thought, searching for a sentence that my memory forgot. Radio still playing, but I'm somewhere else instead, trying to reconnect the wires inside my head. Thoughts buffering slow like a weak Wi-Fi line. Every word delayed by another state of mind. Brain skipping frames like a scratched up DVD. Everything feels strange, but strange become comforting to me. Too gone to rush, too high to fight. Watching all my problems disappear into the night. Brain on silent, heart on cruise. Nothing left to prove, and nothing freeway goes tonight. Maybe that's the reason we keep gathering around, trying to find a little peace before the sun comes out. Everybody carrying something they don't say, smiling through the darkness while they make it through the day. Demons in the rear view slowly getting small. For the first time in a while, they don't know me at all. Paint face softer when the whole crew's near. Sometimes healing sounds a lot like laughter and cheap beer. The world keeps spinning crazy, everybody feels the strain, but for one night together we don't have to feel the the sky, moon overhead. Old conversations replaying in my head. Miles on the highway, stars shining bright, trying to hold on to this feeling through the night. Hills, coffee at the gas station, everything stands still. Ashes in the tray and the sunrise painted gold. Another year survived, another story told. Smoke fades away, but the memory remains. The backyard, the freeway, the laughter and the pain. One more night behind us, one more dawn in sight. Freeway ghosts disappearing with the morning light. Sun dropping low behind the rooftops down the block. Old folding chairs in the cooler by the dock. Backyard speaker humming something smooth and slow. Everybody lighting up while the evening starts to glow. Orange sky fading in the shades of blue and gray. Smoke climbing up while the daylight slips away. No one talking business, no one keeping score. Just a little piece we've all been looking for. Blue dreaming rotation, got the whole yard feeling free. Northern lights shining somewhere nobody can see. Granddaddy purple got us sinking in the night. OG Kush burning underneath the porch light. Purple haze memories dancing through my mind. Sour diesel helping leave the hard days behind. Skywalker OG got me staring at the stars. Pineapple Express got us laughing by the park cars. Smoke moving slowly like it's got nowhere to be. Everybody breathing easier than last week. For a little while the pressure fades away, like the whole world paused at the end of the day. Too high to hurry, too complicated. Watching all my worries disappear into the air. Mind on standby, heart moving slow. Let the midnight wind decide where I should go. Too high to hurry, too calm to fight. Watching distant taillights vanish in the night. Mind on standby, soul feels alive. Somehow I still made it through another night. Yeah. 4 in the morning on an empty stretch of road. Only yellow lines in the glow from the dashboard. City lights behind me getting smaller every mile. Silence riding shotgun while I drive a little while. Forgot what I was thinking halfway through a thought. Trying to reconnect the signal that got lost. Radio playing but I barely hear a sound. My mind floating somewhere far above the ground. Thoughts buffering slowly like a frozen screen. Every memory blending with a half in a dream. Brain skipping signals like an old cassette tape. Nothing feels connected but everything feels safe. Too high to hurry, too complicated. Watching all my worries disappear into the air. Mind on standby, heart moving slow. Let the midnight wind decide where I should go. Too high to hurry, too calm to fight. Watch Maybe that's why every year we gather here again, trying to find some peace before the madness starts again. Everybody carrying stories they don't tell, trying to hide the weight while pretending all is well. Demons in the darkness don't seem quite as strong when you're sitting with your people singing those songs. Pain fades softer when somebody understands, without needing explanations or complicated plans. The world feels heavy, every headline feels cold. Everybody's searching for something they can hold, but tonight feels whole in a way I can't describe. Like the broken pieces finally came alive. Smoke in the moonlight, stars overhead, old conversations replaying in my head. Miles on a highway, night drifting by, trying to hold on to this feeling before goodbye. Morning light rising on the edge of town, coffee in the cup while the windows roll down. Ashes in the tray, in the sky turning gold. Another chapter written, another story told. Smoke fades away, but the memories survive. The backyard, the freeway, the people in our lives. One more dawn breaking after one more fight. Last exit before sunrise, disappearing from sight. Sunset hanging low, yeah. Sunset hanging low beyond the neighborhood trees. Old chairs on the patio, cool night breeze. Speaker in the corner playing something slow. Smoke curling through the air while the sky begins to glow. Orange light fading in the shades of blue. Everybody showing up like they always do. No pressure, no judgment, no need to explain. Just a little peace after a long week of pain. Blue dream floating through the backyard haze. Northern lights shining through forgotten days. Granddaddy purple got the whole night moving slow. OG Kush burning while the summer winds blow. Purple haze memories drifting through my head. Sour diesel helping quiet things unsaid. Skywalker OG got me staring at the stars. Pineapple Express got us laughing by the cars. Whole crew gathered like a family reunion, sharing those stories and a little bit of wisdom. Smoke moving slowly underneath the moonlit sky, watching all the stress and frustration pass by. Too hot to hurry, too calm to care. Leave another worry floating somewhere in the air. Brain on quiet, heart on cruise. Nothing left to prove, and nothing left to lose. Too hot to hurry, too calm to find. Watching city lights fade into the night. Brain on quiet, soul feels right. Just me and the real view moonlight. Yeah. 4 in the morning on an empty interstate. Miles of open road and not a soul away. Dashboard glowing softly in the darkness ahead. Moonlight on the windshield and thoughts inside my head. Forgot where I started halfway through a thought, trying to remember something that my mind forgot. Words loading slowly like an old machine, somewhere between reality and a dream. Thoughts buffering, signals coming in and out. Questions I once carried don't seem to matter now. Brain skipping frames like a worn out tape. Everything feels distant but strangely safe. Too hot to hurry, too calm to care. Leave Yeah, maybe that's the reason we keep coming back to the same old backyard and the same old tracks, trying to find a little shelter from the storm, trying to feel human, trying to feel warm. Demons in the darkness seem a little less strong when you're sitting with your people singing along. Pain face off, doing somebody understands without needing answers or complicated plans. The world feels broken, everybody feels alone, trying to build a life from things they've never known. But tonight feels whole in a way I can't explain, like the smoke carried away a little of the pain. Moonlight in the mirror, smoke against the glass, trying to hold these moments while they last. Keep rolling, night keeps moving on. One more conversation before the dawn. Morning light rising on the horizon line, coffee in the cup while the sky begins to shine. Ashes in the tray and the stars disappear. Another year survived, another lesson here. Smoke fades away, but the memories stay bright. The backyard, the laughter, the long drive through the night. One more sunrise waiting at the end of the fight, fading into daylight with the rearview moonlight. Yeah. Sunset dripping gold across the backyard fence. Old lawn chairs lined up, everybody paying rent. To another long week, another round of stress. Now we're lighting one up just to get it off our chest. Orange glow on faces, smoke paint in the air. Nobody asking questions, everybody's there. Cheap speakers playing low while the daylight slowly dies. Smoke rings floating upward toward the purple sky. Blue dream got me floating like I'm miles above the street. Northern light shining somewhere underneath the beat. Granddaddy purple got the whole night moving slow. OG Kush rolling heavy while the summer winds blow. Purple haze memories spinning through my mind. Sour diesel helping leave the bad days behind. Skywalker OG got me staring at the stars. Pineapple Express got us laughing by the cars. Everybody gathered like a family reunion. No judgment in the circle, only good communication. Smoke moving slowly through the cool evening breeze. For a couple hours life gets easier to breathe. Too long to worry, too high to care. Leave another burden floating somewhere in the air. Brain on standby, soul feels like watching tail lights disappear into the night. Too long to worry, too calm to fight. Everything feels distant underneath these city lights. Brain on standby, heartbeat slow. Just me in the smoke with nowhere else to go. Yeah. 3:45 a.m. on an empty stretch of road. Dashboard glowing softly while the radio rolls. Street lights flashing rhythm through the windshield glass, like memories and mistakes from a forgotten past. Lost inside a sentence halfway through a thought, trying to remember something that my brain forgot. Phone buzzing somewhere, but it doesn't feel real. Only the rope beneath me and the steering wheel. Thoughts loading slowly like a file that won't open. Signals breaking up in words that stay unspoken. Brain skipping frames like a damaged VHS. Everything feels strange, but somehow feels less stress. Too gone to worry, too high to care. Leave another burden floating somewhere in the air. Brain on standby, soul feels light, watching taillights disappear into the night. Too gone to worry, too gone to fight. Everything feels distant underneath these city lights. Brain on standby, heartbeat slow, just me in the smoke with nowhere else to go. Maybe that's the reason we keep gathering around, trying to find some peace before another year goes down. Everybody fighting battles nobody else can see, trying to hold together every broken piece. Demons in the darkness don't seem quite as loud when you're sitting with your people underneath the cloud. Pain fades softer when somebody understands, without needing explanations or complicated plans. The world feels heavy, every headline feels cold. Everybody chasing something they can barely hold. But tonight feels whole in a way I can't explain, like the smoke somehow dissolves a little bit of pain. Moonlight on the freeway, smoke against the glass, trying to make these quiet moments last. Miles keep rolling, stars overhead. Peace feels closer than it's ever been. Cup beside me while the windows roll down. Ashes in the tray and the sky turning gold. Another night survived, another story told. Smoke fades away, but the memories remain. The backyard, the laughter, the healing and the pain. One more sunrise breaking after one more fight. Taillights and smoke rings fading with the light. Sun sinking low behind the rooftops in the west. Old lawn chairs lined up while the city takes a breath. Cheap speakers humming through the backyard air. Everybody showing up like they know we'll be there. Orange glow reflecting off a half-empty glass. Smoke drifting up while the daylight slowly passes. No deadlines, no pressure, no reason to pretend. Just another quiet night surrounded by old friends. Blue dream floating through the warm summer breeze. Northern lights dancing through the tops of the trees. Granddaddy purple got the whole yard moving slow. OG Kush burning while the porch lights glow. Purple haze memories from another younger year. Sour diesel helping make the heavy thoughts disappear. Skywalker OG got me staring at the moon. Pineapple Express got the whole crew out of tune. Laughter in the background, stories getting told. Everybody carrying battles nobody shows. Smoke rings drifting slowly through the fading daylight, like all the stress we carry finally taking flight. Too gone to rush, too calm to care. Watching every burden disappear into the air. Mind on pause, soul on cruise. Nothing left to win and nothing left to lose. Too gone to rush, too calm to fight. Watching city lights blur into the The windows halfway down, just a hum of tires in the silence of the town. Dashboard glowing softly in the darkness ahead. Streetlights painting shadows through the thoughts inside my head. Forgot what I was saying halfway through a line, trying to reconnect signals in my mind. Words loading slowly, like an outdated screen, somewhere between reality and a dream. Thoughts buffering forever, conversations lagging, every mile stretching while the night keeps dragging. Brain skipping frames like a tape that's worn thin, yet somehow in the chaos I could finally breathe again. Too long to rush, too calm to care, watching every burden disappear into the air. Mind on pause, soul on cruise, nothing left to win and nothing left to lose. Too gone to rush, too calm to fight, watching city lights blur into the night. Mind on pause, heart beating slow, following the road wherever it wants to go. Maybe that's why we keep coming back each year, searching for a little peace when life gets hard to steer. Everybody fighting storms nobody talks about, trying to find a quiet place away from all the doubt. Demons in the darkness don't seem quite as loud when you're sitting with your people underneath the cloud. Paint face off the when somebody understands without needing explanations or complicated plans. The world feels broken every time the news appears, everybody carrying invisible fears. But tonight feels whole in a way I can't explain, like the smoke dissolved a little bit of pain. Moonlight on the freeway, stars above the lane, trying to hold on to this feeling once again. Miles keep rolling, night keeps passing by. One more deep conversation before goodbye. Morning light arriving on the edge of town, coffee in the cup, all the windows rolled down. Ashes in the tray, in the sky turning gold. Another chapter written, another story told. Smoke fades away, but the memories remain. The backyard, the laughter, the healing in the pain. One more sunrise waiting at the end of the ride. City lights and slow burns fading with the tide. Sunset melting slowly across the wooden fence. Old radio playing while the daylight starts to end. Fold out chairs in a circle, cool drink in my hand. Everybody showing up exactly as planned. Orange glow on faces, smoke floating through the sky. Nobody looking down, nobody asking why. Just another evening where the world feels small, and for a little while we forget it all. Dream in the air while the backyard comes alive. Northern lights, reflections in the summer night sky. Granddaddy purple got the whole crew feeling slow. OG Kush burning while the porch lights glow. Purple haze, memories from years we left behind. Sour diesel helping clear the noise inside my mind. Skywalker OG got me staring at the stars. Pineapple Express conversation by the cars. Whole crew laughing loud underneath the fading sun. Like the hard week finally loosened its grip on everyone. Smoke rings rising higher with every passing song. For the first time all week, nothing feels wrong. Too far gone worry, too calm to care. Watching all my troubles disappear into the air. Brain on silent, soul on cruise. Nothing left to chase and nothing left to lose. Ooh, too far gone to worry, too calm to fight. Watching the city lights blur into the night. Brain on silent, heartbeat slow, following the highway wherever it wants to go. 4 a.m. freeway with the windows halfway down. No traffic in the mirror and nobody around. Dashboard glowing softly like a candle in the dark. Every mile leaving another memory behind. Forgot what I was saying halfway through a thought, trying to reconnect signals that my brain lost. Words buffering slowly like a screen stuck on pause. Searching for a meaning without knowing the cause. Street lights passing rhythm on the windshield blast, like old mistakes and no regrets fading as they pass. Brain skipping frames like a worn out cassette tape. Nothing really makes sense, but everything feels safe. Too far gone to worry, too calm to care, too calm to care. Watching all my troubles disappear into the air. Brain on silent, soul on cruise. Nothing left to chase and nothing left to lose. Too far gone to worry, too calm to fight. Watching city lights blur into the night. Brain on silent, heartbeat slow, following the highway wherever it wants to go. Maybe that's why we keep coming back each year, looking for a little peace when life gets hard to steer. Everybody carrying stories they don't say aloud, trying to stay strong while standing in the crowd. Demons in the darkness seem smaller than before. When you're sitting with your people on a familiar porch, pain fades easier when somebody understands, without needing reasons or complicated plans. The world feels broken almost everywhere I look. Everybody trying to rewrite a different book, but tonight feels whole in a way I can't explain. Like the smoke carried away a little bit of pain. Light on the asphalt, smoke against the glass, trying to make these quiet moments last. Miles keep rolling, stars above the lane, hoping I can find this feeling once again. Appearing on the edge of town, coffee in the cup while the windows roll down. Ashes in the tray in the sky turning cold. Another night survived, another story told. Smoke fades away, but the memory remains. The backyard, the laughter, the healing and the pain. One more sunrise, waiting after one more fight. 4:20 before dawn, fading into light. Sunset, sunset dripping gold across the backyard fence. Old lawn chairs leaning where the good times never end. Cheap speakers humming low, everybody pulling up. Cold drinks on the table while the daylight gives up. Orange fire glowing from a circle of friends. Smoke climbing to the stars where the blue sky ends. No pressure, no judgment, just a place to belong. Like we've been waiting all week just to hear this song. Yeah. Blue dream in the evening, got the whole yard floating slow. Northern lights, reflections, where the city shadows glow. Granddaddy purple conversations getting deep. OG Kush memories, waking things we used to keep. Purple haze stories from another lifetime back. Sour diesel helping keep the heavy thoughts off track. Skywalker OG got us staring at the moon. Pineapple Express got the whole crew out of tune. Smoke rings spinning circles in the fading summer air. Everybody carrying burdens they don't share. For a couple quiet hours we can finally let go. Watching all the stress disappear with the smoke. Too gone to worry, too high to fight. Watching all the city lights melt into the night. Mind on pause, heartbeat slow. Windows down and nowhere that we really need to go. Left to lose. 3:30 in the morning on an empty interstate. Dashboard glowing softly while the radio plays. Street lights passing slowly like a movie scene in motion. Lost inside a sea of late night thoughts and emotions. Forgot what I was saying halfway through a line. Trying to reconnect signals inside my mind. Words loading slowly like a screen frozen in place. Looking for a memory but forgetting the face. Stars buffering forever while the miles roll by. Neon signs reflecting in the corner of my eye. Brain skipping frames like a tape that's worn thin. Everything feels distant but peaceful within. Too gone to work, too high to fight. Watching all the city lights melt into the night. Mind on pause, heartbeat slow. Windows down and nowhere that we really need to go. Maybe that's the reason we keep gathering here, trying to find a little peace between the doubt and fear. Everybody's smiling, but we all know the truth. Life can leave some scars no matter what you do. Demons in the darkness don't seem quite as strong when you're sitting with your people and everybody gets along. Pain fades softer when somebody understands, without needing explanations or complicated plans. The world feels fractured every time I watch the news. Everybody's searching for something they can use, but tonight feels whole in a way I can't explain. Like the smoke carried off a little piece of pain. Moonlight on the freeway, smoke against the glass. Trying to make these quiet moments last. Stars above the highway, miles beneath the wheels. Sometimes the late night shows you how to heal. Morning light arriving on the edge of town. Coffee in the cup while the windows roll down. Ashes in the tray in the sky turning gold. Another long night survived, another story told. Smoke fades away but the memories remain. The laughter and the healing, the pleasure and the pain. One more sunrise rising after one more ride. Smoke trails and city lights fading with the tide. went down behind the old brick homes. Backyard full of shadows, nobody checking phones. Fold out chairs in a circle, speakers playing low. That orange evening glow got everybody moving slow. Lighters in the air like tiny stars tonight. Smoke drifting upward, disappearing from sight. No pressure in this place, no judgment in the crowd. Just a little peace before the city gets loud. Blue dream on the breeze while the sky turns gray. Northern lights, memories from another day. Granddaddy purple got the whole crew leaning back. OG Kush conversations while the trains roll past the tracks. Purple haze stories from the years we survived. Sour diesel helping keep the restless thoughts outside. Skywalker OG got us staring at the moon. Pineapple Express got us laughing out of tune. Everybody got scars they rarely ever show, but tonight they fade away with every cloud of smoke. The world keeps spinning fast, but the backyard moving slow. For a couple quiet hours, nowhere else to go. Too faded to hurry, too calm to care. Watching all my worries disappear into the air. Brain on standby, so set free, floating through the silence like a wave across the sea. Too faded to hurry, too slow to fight. Watching all the city lights dissolve into the night, into the night. Brain on standby, heartbeats low, following the road wherever it may go. 4 in the morning and the highway looks unreal. Street lights painting silver on the steering wheel. The city's half asleep, the lanes are open wide. Just me and my reflection on a late night ride. Forgot what I was saying halfway through a thought. Searching through my memory for something I forgot. Words loading slowly, like a screen stuck in delay. Every signal in my head drifting farther away. Thoughts buffering endlessly, conversations freeze. Neon signs flickering through the windshield breeze. Brain skipping frames like an old VHS tape. Lost inside the moment, but somehow feeling safe. Too faded to hurry, too calm to care, watching all my worries disappear into the air. Brain on standby, so set free, floating through the silence like a wave across the sea. Too faded to hurry, too slow to fight. Watching all the city lights dissolve into the night, into the night. Brain on standby, heartbeats low, following the road wherever it may go. Maybe that's the reason we keep coming back here, trying to find some peace between the pressure and the fear. Everybody fighting battles hidden deep inside, trying to keep their heads above another rising tide. The darkness feels lighter when you're not alone, when somebody understands without needing to be told. Pain fades softer when the night is calm and still, and the noise inside your head finally loses its will. The world feels fractured every time I look around. Everybody's searching for a place where hope is found, but tonight feels whole in a way I can't explain. Like the smoke carried away a little bit of pain. Moonlight on the dashboard, stars above the lane, trying to make this feeling stay. Miles keep rolling, night moves slow. Somewhere in the silence, letting no one cup while the windows roll down. Ashes in the tray and the sky turning gold. Another long night lived, another story told. The smoke finally fades, but the memories survive. The laughter and the healing from another late night drive. One more sunrise waiting at the end of the road. Neon ashes at 4 a.m. carrying the load.